Hey guys, it's Sabrina, and I think I've made it on time. Do you want some high-end doopity dupes? Look at this, guys. So these off Birch Lane are little, the China blue white stuff. They call it Chinoiserie, I think. But all this pretty fancy stuff that we've known for a long time. You see these bunnies? Even on Amazon, $17 for those two bunnies. And you saw $29 and $30. Look, let me show you the cheap way. I'm sure this is not the first time you've seen it, and I'm sure somebody does a lot better job than me, but here we go. So those pretty napkins I found at Hobby Lobby, 40% off, of course. The set of eggs I found for $2 at Dollar General. Now, going back to the napkins, you would be probably find some even prettier ones at like Home Goods or Marshalls. And I did find some at Home Goods, but they were big napkins and the pattern was bigger. I wanted a smaller pattern for doing these smaller things. Anywho, we're going to start with our eggs. So you noticed I kind of took my pink pokey tool there, and there was already a little bit of a hole indention kind of in the bottom of the egg. So I just poked a hole through that and then stuck a skewer in it. And this is just to help hold it and so I can stick it in the foam to dry it. That's basically the only reason for that. Okay. We've got some Mod Podge, which I am going to water down because it's really thick and pretty old, and I probably just need to chunk it, but I can't waste anything. We're going to take a napkin here, and you've got to make sure anytime you decoupage with napkins that you get all those extra plies off. So a good way to do that is take a piece of Scotch tape, painter's tape, masking tape, whatever, and stick it to the back, not the printed part, but the back, and it pulls that white layer off. Now, this was only one ply. A lot of napkins, though, have two, so be careful, and that's what I'm kind of telling you right here. This only had the one ply on it. I just had to pull the white off. I'm going to take my water pen here, which I got at the Dollar Tree, but you can just take a paintbrush and dip it in some water. And I'm kind of just running it around those little flower designs there and getting some chunks off because you can't just slap the whole napkin onto the egg. So I just want pieces of it, and you use the water pen so you kind of get that jagged yep, kind of edge. Yeah, it's the end of the day on a Monday after winter break, being a week off. Yeah, this teacher. Yeah, it's been the Mondays to Mondays. Okay, anyway, back to the eggs. So you can see I pretty much got our napkin all in pieces because you don't want those straight edges on there because I mean, if you do, you do. And if you want to, you could even cut around it and cut even more of that white off. But I just used my water pen. Anywho, so I took my Mod Podge there and watered it down. Fan brush. Fan brush are the best brushes in the world to use to do this. And y'all, go to Brandy at the DIY Struggle and website, and she has her own fan brushes. And let me tell you, I'm going to go buy me some because I hear nothing but good about that and that they are amazing. DIY Struggle, Miss Brandy, go to her website, DIYstruggle.com, and get you some of her fan brushes. I don't have any yet, but I'm going to get me some. Anywho, you saw when I put the Mod Podge on the egg, I set a piece of the napkin on top, and then you saw me take my scissors and kind of slit it. When you got a round surface, you got to kind of make some slits so that it kind of adjusts on that round surface. Now, I've seen some other people do this, and they just cut pieces or the water pen pieces like I did, set it on and just go ahead and Mod Podge that sucker on there. You feel free to do it however you want. I got wrinkles in this, even though I'm taking this is a dry sponge, and I'm just kind of patting it, making sure it's all sticking down. And there we go. And all I did was put a top on this one. And then I'm going to leave it alone. Then you'll see me do some other eggs, and I will go ahead and decoupage the whole egg. Some other eggs, I just decoupaged it on the bottom. And then later on, after I was done, I did give them one more coat of the gloss Mod Podge just to make sure they were well sealed. So here we go again, little bit faster. I just slid it, stuck it on, Mod Podging it, layered it on top. You're going to see wrinkles with mine. I'm sure there's quite a few other people that can do this without getting wrinkles, but this is my first time to really do a round surface. So, and this small of a entirely round surface. So, I was pretty happy with how they came out. Hey guys, for 3 eggs, $30. I mean, on some of these websites. Now you can go to Walmart and they're like $10 for about 5 eggs or whatever. But hey, I got a dozen eggs for $2, and that pack of napkins was only probably about $3. So you could make a lot of eggs with all them napkins. I'm just saying. Or whatever you want, which you'll see some more here in a minute. So you can see I get all my napkin pieces podged on, took my sponge, pushed it, mushed it, and there you go. And that time I did the whole entire thing. There I just did the top, and then I'll make some that just have some on the bottom. So just kind of a different variety, however you wanted to do it. If you hear crashing, Moose is walking. Yeah, that was Moose. He's crashing everything. Anyway, there we go. So you can see I've got some completely covered, some that are top covered, and some that are bottom covered. So just to give a little variety, do as many as you want. This is just a cheap way to do it. Those eggs I got at Dollar General, but you can get them at Dollar Tree. You could get them at Hobby Lobby. You could probably get some at Walmart, whatever floats your goats. Here's a little bunny. Remember the bunnies we saw at the beginning that they wanted like 30, $20 for? I got these at Hobby Lobby after Easter last year. So you saw the price was like $4, but I got them at 60% off. So what would that have been? Maybe like $1.50 or $2, something like that. So there's you, and it's ceramic. It's breakable. Whoa, scary, huh? I didn't like the gold patterns, so I took my water pen and watered me out some more flowers there and got my Mod Podge, and I'm just going to brush it over where those gold little bumps flowers are, covering that up. And I'm just being as careful as I can. I did cut some slits in it again because you're working with a really bumpy round surface here. But being as thin as this napkin is and Mod Podging it down, and take your time. Patience is a virtue with this one, my friends. Just be patient. Yes, I am doing something that took some patience. Are you surprised that I make it through this? I sure was. So we got that covered, but you can still see, and right here I'm picking off some of the extra blue that was left on that I didn't want. Taking the sponge, pouncing it down, pulling some off I don't want because it's pretty wet. You took in my fingernail and getting it off. Now, some of the gold is still showing through. So you see I got a little small piece of flour off the napkin on my thumb. So we're just going to take small little bits and pieces to cover up what didn't get covered. And it really all kind of blends together. I was happy with it. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Does it have wrinkles? Absolutely. If you got close enough, can you tell where I probably pieced it together? Absolutely. There's a Gracie tail for you and a Gracie booty. Yep. Gracie wants the limelight today. But there you go. And so now we're going to do that over here on the other side. And you can see that where that gold lining is, that it is raised up some. The bunny had a little bit under her chin, so I put another little piece under there. So it looks like she has this Victorian collar type gothic collar on or something. That was just my first thought when I saw that. But I did this just like I did the eggs. I put it on, and then I took my sponge and pushed it down, and then I put some at the bottom. Anywhere she had any of those little gold bumpy lines, I wanted it covered. And then I thought, I should have done the inside of her ears. And then, back at the picture, back at the front from Birch Lane, they like did her eyes black, but I didn't do any of that. I just left it. Now, there was no picture of a cross done this way, but these crosses came from Hobby Lobby several years ago. I'm sure I got those on sale as well, obviously. I usually go when it's at least 50% off. And I'm just going to cover up. I've got like 3 of these. So I wanted to take one of them. And I'm covering up the Happy Easter because I got Happy Easter on the other ones too. So I'm covering up the words. Now, this took a little bit because those words are like pressed down in to the cross there a little bit. I did do some cutting again, got it on there, gonna go around the side, but I don't want it on the back where the hope word is. So we got hope on one side, and then on the other side, I just want the blue and white napkin flour showing. So we got to kind of pull a little bit of it off or whatever. Again, patience, take your time, work slow, wet napkins, and there goes the moose man, just charging, busting up in there. That's why the camera shook, guys. Sorry. So, and so I'm just getting it around the arms of the cross there, and the top and the sides. And then I noticed once I had it on, you could still see some of the Happy Easter. See, you can see it if you stopped it and got close up. And so here I'm thinking, leave it. Nah, you can't see it. Yeah, wait, I know it's there. I'm going to take a couple more pieces of the flour and just lay it on top. I'm like literally layering flowers on top of flowers. It does kind of look like just a blob of blue, but you can still kind of tell that there's some flowers in there. So I'm just taking some little pieces to try to get that Happy Easter covered up. Now, had I been smart, see, now you can't see it, and taken like some spackle or something and filled in those Happy Easter letters, because like I said, they were pressed down into the cross, so you could fill it with some spackle and then paint over it all white. Or if you get the spackle, it is white, but you could go ahead and paint it again if you wanted to. That probably would have been better than trying to put 2 layers of the napkin on top of the words to cover it up. But hey, we learn as we go, right? It's all about some learning. Now I'm going to put just a little piece down here at the bottom. Do not ask me what I'm doing. I'm putting Mod Podge on it and then spraying it with water, then spreading it all over and making a huge mess. Guys, my hands were sticky, and then I'm trying to get the napkin sticking to my fingers, and Lord have mercy, hot mess. But patience though. See, I'm going to cut right here where those little dips and bends are. And it just kind of helps it fold against it a little bit better so it doesn't look as clumpy and hopefully not as wrinkly. And then just taking my sponge again, pouncing it all over. I do clean it up where all the white is, like between the top and the bottom. And then I also clean up my back in a little bit. I also take a wet wipe and I clean up the bunny. See, I'm taking a wet wipe right here, just cleaning it all up. And then I cleaned up my bunny as well. And then everybody got a second layer of de Mod Podge. And I did use glossy Mod Podge. You know, guys, I don't like the glossy, but I did that time. Okay, now we've got to start putting this together. So I had this dough bowl that I did get at the Goodwill, but it is literally, I mean, it's bare. There's no wax. There's no um, there's no coating of any kind, no sealer, no nothing. So I'm just taking my antique wax, and that wood is soaking it up. Let me tell you, it was just like right through a straw. So after I get some of this on, I'm like, nope, too dark. Even getting a wet wipe and wiping this down, it was still like, yep, too dark. So I'm gonna get my water bottle here in a second, sometime this year. Okay, come on, Sabrina. Okay, there we go. So, and I'm just spraying it with water, and you could kind of see it start to run, and this kind of helps spread it out a little bit, and this made me happier. So I just had to water down the antique wax, because like I said, this was bare natural wood right here. It was soaking it in. It had absolutely no sealer on this whatsoever. No stain. That's the word I was trying to think of. Absolutely nothing. So I do this on the inside, and I'm using wet wipes and more water. And then you can see like there's a line up through the middle, which I don't know if that's just the way the wood was or what, but I could not get rid of that. See, you can see right here, I try to put some more wax through the middle, and it just, I don't know, it wouldn't take it right up through the middle. And then you also see it on the bottom too when we go to do the bottom. But I do this whole thing. So I add the wax. This time, see the difference? Yep, we liking that. Yep, sure am. This time I'm going to spray the water on the back and wipe it, let it soak that in, and then I'll put the antique wax on. So I kind of did reverse, and this worked a whole lot better. And you can see I kind of spread it, I swirl it. I'm just using a chippy brush here and just getting this all rubbed in really good. And then I'm going to use my wipies to wipe it down. And then when I was about done and I was happy with it, I used a dry paper towel to kind of finish it off. If you did want this darker, you could let it sit for a little bit and then wipe it. See, you can start to see the line on the bottom of it too. I'm not sure. If you guys know why that line is there, let me know. If you guys know of any way to better decoupage some eggs, to decoupage a bunny, if you know any kind of techniques, because I watch these techniques, but then I forget these techniques when I go to do it. So if you got better ideas, you guys give me all the tips down in those comments and you let me know. You also let me know, do you like the eggs? Do you like the bunny? Or did you like the cross? What was your favorite blue and white Chinoiserie? And I'm sure I am not saying that right. I Googled it, looked it up. It's kind of like also, what's the other word? The to lick. I can't even think of the word right now. Goodness me. But it's like where you have the blue and it's like the old people. It's been around since like the early 1700s from what I saw when I Googled it. So it's I know there's a word that starts with a T. That's another name for it. And I was thinking of it last night and now I can't remember it. But anyway, the blue and white china. There you go. That's the easy way to remember it. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out how I want to display these. So I got my green moss from Walmart and I put it in the bowl and I'm putting my eggs in and I'm not gluing this moss down. I don't want this glued down. And once I get my eggs in there, I'm like, I don't know if I like this green with it. So I'm kind of like, meow. And this is after everybody has had, this is like the next day. Everybody's had a second layer of gloss Mod Podge, sealed everything in. We're good to go. I'm not liking the green grass. Here's another thing. So instead of the green grass, I got out some Excelsior, which is like your straw. You could use your raffia, cut it up, but I wanted the fine stuff, not the big, thick, wide raffia. So I kind of pulled this apart and I ended up liking this raffia hay stuff better. You guys let me know down in comments. What did you like better? Did you like the green moss? Do you like this Excelsior? Or would you have even maybe preferred just the Spanish moss, the brown moss? Because I had some of that too, but I didn't try that one. I was thinking that the brown was too dark and I wanted it lighter than the bowl, but I didn't want it green. So this is what I chose. But you guys let me know down in comments. Let me know, do you want the eggs, the bunny, the cross, the moose man? And did you like this Excelsior or did you like the green moss or do you think I should have went with Spanish moss? But I decided to go with this right here. And I also kind of shortened myself one egg because I didn't want to fill it up because here's our bunny. And she turned out so cute. And I was pointing to the eyes like maybe I should paint the eyes black like in the picture at the beginning that I showed you guys. But I'll just leave her alone. I'll think about it. So I wanted to put my bunny with my eggs. Yeah, I know bunnies don't lay eggs. Maybe the Cadbury bunny does. I mean, you never know. I mean, the Cadbury bunny's got eggs. I mean, so, where do those eggs come from? Bunnies, yeah. Buck, 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 buck. Anyway, sorry. And then there's my cross. And I thought about putting the cross in there, but I thought my bunnies and my eggs in the basket. Look at those. Didn't they turn out pretty good? For a first try on a big round surface. See, I was showing you there. It's not perfect by any means, but it wasn't $30 either. This whole thing wasn't even $30. I bought the bowl at the thrift shop and the cross and the bunny from Hobby Lobby on clearance and the eggs, $2. And the napkins, $2. I mean, there we go. And there's the fabric that I was trying to think of the T word, toilet. I'm thinking toiletry, and I know that ain't right. But it's like with the guy and the girl on the swing. And so I know right here, this setup is like, wow, you can't see the eggs in the bunny because of the material is blue and white. This is all blue and white. So I change it up here in a picture at the end and just put some lace down. But this is how I kind of styled it, and I thought it came out good. For you guys that like that blue and white, oh, here I used the lace. You could see the things a little bit better. You guys can do this yourself without a problem whatsoever. Y'all need to go let me know what you think down in the comments. What was your favorite part? What kind of grass or moss? If you want to support the Moose Man and my craft habit, there's that QR code for buying me a coffee. I love you guys. And if you want to see some more action, check out this video down below. Love you guys.